we all know the ability. I was just more of the person that Jason Heyward is. I just knew what he would bring to the young guys, the clubhouse, just the culture, the atmosphere, and how he would interact with our guys. And obviously, I already knew the baseball was going to be there. That's just because I'm his best friend. I'm always good. Until those cleats are done, I'm going to believe in him. So, yeah, about August 2022 is when I started throwing his name and hoping it just stick into Andrew and Brandon Gomes' heads. And, I think it just worked out for everybody. He had an amazing year, and, it was so amazing that they brought him back pretty quickly.
Wasted very little time. I think that was the first person they brought back was Jay.
Made me really happy.
What did it mean to you, Jason, that they wanted you to come back right away? Basically, as soon as the season ended, free agency opened, they wanted to bring you back.
No, first off, it's tough to get someone like Freddie Free's approval, So, that means a lot to me, of course, because this guy, everything he does, he wants to win and compete. And to be asked to be here in the first place, what an opportunity, what a franchise. And to get to be here in 2023, really cool. But to be asked to come back in a year where they want to step on it and spend some more money, make a lot of additions, to be one of the first people asked to come back in the clubhouse, that means a lot, and I don't take that opportunity lightly.
Speaking of the changes that they have made, the money that they have spent, this organization, they expect to win the World Series every year. You guys expect that as athletes and as players, but at the same time, with those changes, do you feel like, is there more pressure on you guys, or it's still the same because, hey, listen, we're expecting and we want to go win it?
I think that's for us every year. We expect to win the World Series, just like, you did the same. So I think it's more of the outside. Believe me, we hear it and we get it, we understand it, and that just makes it, the excitement around us, even that much more fun. The fans on the road, they're going to be going all crazy on us, supporting us, but that's what you want. You want to be a part of a group, an organization, a front office, and ownership that want to win every single year. And for us to be a part of that as players, I don't think it can get much better than that.
Yeah, because you guys have both won World Series. You know what it takes to get there and to finish at the top of the mountain. And this is a team that every single year they expect to be playing deep into the month of October. Jason, for you, what are the expectations now? Because you came in last year, and I think it was a minor league deal. And now that you had the season that you had coming into 2024, what are the expectations you have for yourself?
Expectations for myself to not dwell on last year. No, that's over with. Be where my feet are, enjoy the moment, and again, like, it's not cliche for me. Don't take that opportunity for granted. This is a special place to be, one of the most historic franchises in sports. And when ownership, when front office, and guys in the clubhouse like Freddie and Mookie say, like, we want to continue to add to that and go further, you don't take that lightly. So I just look forward to being asked to do whatever I am in the outfield, whether it's starting the game, coming off the bench, all those things. It's just to make these guys' job a little bit easier that go out there and grind for us every day. What a special spot to be. And as far as the pressure added, I think it's awesome. Because Freddie and I both know what it's like to be on losing teams, to have teams that are going home early and trying to ignore the playoffs instead of, getting ready to play in them. So it's just nice to have another shot to run in and go deep into October and win a World Series.
For both of you guys, I know Freddie was talking about what you mean as a person in the clubhouse, and Freddie's selling himself short because I know you're exactly the same way, as far as what you mean to the clubhouse. But you guys, you have new players coming in, but also you have new players from just who've never experienced this culture as well. It's a whole different environment. What can you guys possibly do to either make them feel welcome, adjustments? Are you guys learning phrases in Japanese? Like what can you guys do, from a clubhouse standpoint, from a team standpoint?
Yeah, I think that's an awesome question, Nomar. I think, we take it one day at a time, just like you do every season, every spring training. There's always, a chance there's going to be new people. Put ourselves in their shoes for a little bit. I think that's a unique thing about our roster is, a lot of us have been free agents and signed big contracts. None of them this big, for sure. And I also don't think any of them this big for a rookie.
Right.
For Yamamoto. Right. So just, reasoning with that, but I think these guys are competitors. You see that from their makeup. For them to win the World Baseball Classic and be on that stage and represent their country. So just every single day, checks and balances. We all checking with each other. Iron sharpens iron, and I don't think you'll have any problem seeing competition amongst ourselves, but us pushing each other to be the best version every single day.
It's hard to go on more on that.
Well, at some point, then when you guys go, okay, here's the tab, you guys can get this, maybe.
Well, he'll just say they're all deferred.
Deferred all.
Hey, smart business. Smart business plan.
There you go.
Well, I'm speaking from a fan here. When I watch a game, I don't know how anybody ever gets a hit off of Major League pitching, and you guys are some of the best in the world at doing this. Nomar hit 372 one year, 357 another year. I don't even know how that's possible. But one of the things, Freddie, that he mentioned was during those 2 years, he just limited his slumps maybe better than everybody else. And when you're scuffling a little bit, and I know you talked about it after the season, really the last part of September, you didn't really like the way that you were swinging the bat toward the end of the year. How do you get out of something like that? Is there go-to things that you have? Because if it were easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah, I think we all have go-tos. Mine is I do a drill where I've just put my hand against the net farther and try and hit it ball right through the hole between the net and the L screen and try and hit it up the middle. It keeps my bat path on the line of the batter's box. That's what I'm thinking, so I don't get too cross my body. But yeah, for some reason, the last couple of weeks of September, I was fighting my body, just fighting my swing and it'd be like one day where I'd get like 2 or 3 hits. I'm like, okay, here we go. And the next day, I'd be boom, right back to 3 ground outs to the right side of the infield. And I'm just like kicking myself as I run down. And that's the frustrating part because you know what you're doing wrong, but for some reason, you just can't lock it back in. And believe me, I wish we could get 2 hits every single night. I wish it was easy.
He still almost does.
If you talk to my wife, she feels like I go 0 for 4 every night, but I'm pretty hard on myself.
Well, that was Nomar. Nomar would get 2 hits, and he'd be mad he didn't get 3 or 4.
Believe me, if Chelsea was here, she would just that's it. But yeah, we all have our little things that we go to that you're trying to stop the 0 for 12s, the 0 for 16s, the 1 for 20s, but we're all going to go through those through a course of a season, but you just try and shrink them to maybe like an 0 for 8 with 4 walks. Even if you go 0 for 2 with a couple walks and when you're not feeling good, you got on base, you can go first or third, you can do things and help your team win the ball game. But every single week, every single day, you're doing your work every single day to try and keep that swing as long as you can. And that's why we keep coming back, because it's mentally tough. Like it takes you down to this sometimes, but then when you start to feel it again, you start feeling hot, and that's when it's all worth it. But yeah, I didn't like how we ended last year, so let's start off good this year.
It's funny you say that, because I was going to ask about that. For you guys, the competitors that you guys are, and the way you guys think. Obviously last year was tough the way it ended. How long does that stay with you going in the off season? There's a particular point where okay, I got to turn the page because now it's just moving forward, or is there a little bit that always still sticks with you even throughout the entire off season?
I think there's a little that sticks, but when you're married with kids,
Freddie.
When you're married with kids, they don't really care, like your 3-year-old running around like, why is daddy upset, So there's a point where you just got to be able to like push it off to the side. So I took 4 days off of working out, and then I went right back to it just to start getting ready for next year. There's always going to be a next year. Even if you win the whole thing, you got to get ready for the next year.
How about for you, Jason?
It's just you try and push it off as long as you can, but we all know what happened last year. We got swept in the first round, so we got a little chip on our shoulder.
I think both of us, playing as long as we have now, only winning 1 World Series, we've had a lot of off seasons going home disappointed with that feeling. So that's not a new one, unfortunately, but it's one that we don't take for granted, right? You keep that chip on your shoulder, and you still have to go back, like Freddie said, you still go back into your routine. You still work hard, you're still working smart, and you remember how certain things went, but you also look at the next day and minimize your lows. How can we get better every single day? And I think that's all we can do.